everybody, I'm BOURNE, I'm an indie author, and today I'm doing another bonus video, which is the writing mistakes tag. This tag was created by BOURNE and BETHANY ATAZADEH, so I thought I would go through the 6 questions and answer them here and now. So the first one is, what was my mistake with outlining? I am a planner and a pantser, so I don't outline extensively. My mistake when outlining was doing it too much. I write better without too much structure. I write better knowing that I have control over where the story goes, which you still have when outlining, but it doesn't really work for me. So my mistake was putting too much pressure on myself to stick to an outline and to make sure that I stayed on the outline, and if anything else happened, then I was wrong. And it took me a long time to realize that it's okay for me to not need to plan as much as everybody else does. But that's okay because it applies to everybody differently and everybody has their own unique style. So what was my mistake with the first draft? I spent too much time focusing on making it perfect the first time round. And while some people will say, you know, if you get stuck, just jump ahead. I know Emily touched on this in her video. I can't do that. I have to write linearly, otherwise I can't follow it. I lose my spot and I lose my focus and the characters go off different ways and it's all a big mess. So my mistake with writing the first draft was getting too caught up in editing as I went. It's now something that I can do easily and happily and don't struggle with at all. So that's good. But in the beginning, I focused too much on getting a perfect first draft, which doesn't exist. Number 3, what was my mistake with editing and revising? I had a book, one of my first books, went through something like 32 revisions, and I didn't really focus enough on what I was changing and what I was trying to do, and the story changed several different times. I think it was because I planned it too much, and so when it came to revising it, I could see the story going off in different directions. I'd correct it, I'd get fed up, I'd go leave it to sit there and all the rest of it, and then I would go back to it and I'd be like, oh, what if it goes this way or that way? So I didn't spend enough time editing and revising and really getting into the thick of it. I was too focused on where the story could go, and I think if I'd gone back and scrapped it and started again, I would have felt a lot happier with the story. Number 4, my mistake with time management. Up until a couple of years ago, I really struggled with time management. I have a to-do list that I set on a private blog every month, and I set myself chapters and books to read and all of this stuff. And part of that was I would set myself, say, 4 chapters, 2 of each book to do during the month, and I'd have some bonus ones if I wanted to. But I didn't really put pressure on myself to actually write those chapters. So all I was doing was writing when I felt like it, and it doesn't work like that. It does work like that, but it doesn't work like that. And I didn't really get strict with myself until later on. A couple of years ago, I started doing Joe Write My Go, and now I knock out a lot of chapters a month, and I'm very happy with how it goes. So that was my mistake, was not holding myself accountable. What was my biggest newbie mistake? My biggest newbie mistake was not getting professional covers for my books before they were released. When Blackout was published in 2005, it had professional cover, and that was perfect. But when I went to publish Dying Thoughts First Touch, Second Sight, Friendship Triangle and Lynn and Hope, I used the original covers that someone had drawn for me, and they were bad. They were bad. And because I didn't take my time with it, and because I rushed through it, the covers were there for a while, and it showed, and it meant I couldn't do paperbacks because they were not good covers. They wouldn't stand up to printing or anything else like that. So that was my newbie mistake, and I've done a video about that, and I would want anybody just to not do that, because it really had an impact on my visibility and on people reading my books and all the rest of it. So yeah, don't do that. The biggest mistake I see other writers do, I think my biggest thing is that I see a lot of newbie writers who don't follow through. Like, they have a lot of ideas and they have lots of good ideas, but they don't generally go through from one to the other. And I think it's something you can get caught up with a lot. I have shiny idea syndrome. I think most writers do, and you have this moment when you have a spark of an idea and you get really into it, and then you sort of like, you want to go straight to it because the one you're working on right now isn't as shiny and it's boring, and yeah. And I think a lot of writers get stuck there because they don't follow through, and I think that's the big mistake I see people doing. And there's nothing wrong with having multiple works in progress. I write two at the same time. I have done for years and it really works for me, and that's great. But I think a lot of the time people forget that they actually have to finish them, and because they don't follow through and finish them, they end up with lots of first chapters or first halves or whatever. And that can be for a variety of reasons, such as not outlining, or outlining when you need to pants and stuff like that. It's all different, everybody has a unique style. So those are my answers to the writing mistakes tag. I really enjoyed watching Emily and Bethany's videos, and I will link them down below. And I am tagging, according to Jules, from Pages and Pens, and anybody else who wishes to do the tag. The questions will be down below, along with Julie's channel. I know she's not doing videos much at the moment, but maybe she'll do this one. So yeah, that's all I have time for today. If you want to get in touch with me, you can comment or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays and sometimes on Sundays. You can find me on Facebook, on Goodreads, on Tumblr, on Twitter. You can pick up Walk a Mile for 99p at the link below. It is a young adult sci-fi crime novel, and it's due out on the 27th of June, which is like 2 days away or 3 days away. And you can find my other books everywhere. And don't forget to check out This 2018 and Dark 2018, where I'll be signing books this year. All the links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching. Bye.